they spoke about my excellent academic career. Now, that is unfortunately failing me these days. For the last 2 months, I've been studying more than I ever did in life, including my MBA. This geopolitical world is so uncertain. And I think, Poonam, next time the challenge should be, how to have a AI algorithm to predict what Mr. Trump is going to do next. But this is a wonderful experience. ICA is known for the more, organic stuff, which is manufacturing, supply chains, inspiring, enabling, leading in that area, in overall electronics, and starting with mobile phones, etc., which has been fortunately unqualified success. We do not take up digital issues usually, but when this came up, I think this was very, very important. I think this was really important because we've always had this untruth and falsehood spreading, and India has a history of that. I was telling the youngsters that about 60 years back, my father was an irrigation engineer who was in charge of a project in which the rumor was that, don't use the waters from Hakra Dam because the power has been pulled out of that. So they would go from village to village and, drink the water, plant trees and see how the trees grow and so on. So it was the untruth spread was like that. But in the digital era, it can be very rapid and it can be very devastating. But fortunately, with these bright youngsters we have, and I count myself as one of them, and the 36% female participation, which is so extraordinary, I think this we will come up with something very robust. And our team, Poonam, and the entire team, coordinated by young Rishabh, raise your hand. Right. So they have worked very hard, and it has been quite extraordinary. I have been watching from the sides, but I'm deeply impressed with the work they have done. And I think the outcomes will be excellent, will be absolutely excellent. And we'll continue to work on this area of AI very deeply as an institution, including compute. I think we have a vision of crafting something extraordinary and unique in the compute area, where usually you hear that India should not look at compute, hamari auqat se bahar hai wo. But that's not something which I believe in. I think we'll come out with something. Of course, we will not have fabs to fabricate GPUs, maybe at least in the next 10 years. But we will be designing some very extraordinary new kind of ASIC-oriented. So, you see, that is our DNA for the organic is quite clear from what I'm saying now. But I think that is the foundation, that will be the foundation of AI also. The layers on top, the 3 layers on top, we are already very competent to be able to handle them. I won't take too much time here. I welcome all of you. I think this last 25 doesn't mean that the other 5,575 did not have merit. So we please continue to be encouraged in this area. It's an extraordinary area. AI is now an independent vertical, which was like what IT was 30 years back. It is going to transform us in all areas. So innovation is possible in all possible areas with AI. And thank you very much. And once again,
and as you are aware that this is part of the Create in India challenge, which we are from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting we are running. And Truthful Hackathon is one of the 32 such challenges which Ministry is currently running up to the event which is called the WAVES, that is the World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit. This WAVES is a kind of a convergence event for all the verticals of media and entertainment sector, So, for example, films, digital media, broadcasting, AVGC, all of them. So, while we have events which are focused on films, which are focused on broadcasting across the world, but possibly this is one of the first events which cuts across all the verticals and provides a convergence platform for all the verticals of media and entertainment sector. So to begin with, I would request and in fact ask all of you to come and join Waves in Mumbai, which is scheduled from 1st to 4th of May. So all the young talents who are here, they can register as delegates on our portal, which is the wavesindia.org, www.wavesindia.org. So please register on it as a delegate, and you will be able to access all the exhibitions, all the events that are unfolding during the Waves. So Waves is at the Nita Mukesh Ambani Center, Cultural Center, which is at the BKC in Mumbai. So just to talk about this challenge, when we were trying to design CIC challenges, we thought that maybe it would be very good and it will be in line to get onto some of the current problems which the sector is facing. So apart from many other things that we had for our challenges, from the broadcasting vertical which we were looking at, two very important problem statements that emerged. One was the fact check, because as was already mentioned, that misinformation is a byproduct of social media advancement that we have seen in the last few years. And the other that we identified was piracy, anti-piracy, because piracy again is an issue which is completely kind of destabilizing this sector. So we thought that for many others as well as these two problem statements, we should have a run-up, which will be like crowdsourcing solutions. And what better than try to involve the young talents from our country. So then we thought of a partner, and then we thought that ICA probably would be the best suited to take it forward. And I'm very thankful to Mr. Mahendra and his team that ICA took this challenge very, very professionally and now we are here with 25 bright minds who have come up with 25 new products for this problem statement. So as was already mentioned, that social media, as it progresses and it's becoming even more intense and everyone is getting involved in it, from all age groups, all sections of the society. Misinformation is becoming a source of problem, and the editorial control which the legacy media had earlier is completely out of the window. So every individual who has a mobile has become a journalist, and then all he needs to do is to place it on the social media platform, intermediary platforms, and then it becomes an issue with the broader sections of the society. Particularly for the children, the vulnerable sections of the society, this issue can be very, very dangerous. In fact, recently I was watching this web series Adolescence, and if some of you have seen it, it comes up with all kinds of things which probably people who belong to my generation would not have imagined. And it's good that with this web series, the parents are kind of getting educated as what lies in store ahead, and how the younger generation, particularly the children, are so, hooked up to the social media, and they are using it so much so that it is affecting their lives and it is leading to all kinds of issues. So
AI was used to create content which can fool people, which can mislead people, which can result in riots, which can result in crimes. So the problem is very serious. The problem is real in front of us. So towards this objective, the 25 teams who have qualified for the final round, I really congratulate them. You have come a long way. I was told more than 5,000 registrations, and from there to be among the top 25 is itself an achievement. I compliment you all for your efforts, and I am sure out of these 25 to come to the top 5, it will be a tough fight. But through that only you'll be able to develop the best solution. In fact, we have been working in Ministry of Electronics and IT to develop tools for detecting deepfake. In fact, CDAC had developed some tools some time back. We recently had a call for proposals under the India AI mission to come up with research tools which can be used for detecting deepfakes, which can be used for watermarking AI-based creations, so that one can find out what is real, what is fake. So that work is going on, and I'm sure the work that you are doing will contribute a long way. We have seen in fact last week I saw some posts on social media wherein people shared how Aadhaar cards were generated by using Gen AI tools like ChatGPT, and immediately it was very obvious that even though the look and feel of the format and colors used was very similar to what an Aadhaar card has, but if you look at the pictures of the people there, it was like a giveaway. Well, none of our Aadhaar cards has got such sharp, good-looking images. And the AI-generated Aadhaar cards had all very neat, clean pictures, which is virtually impossible for anyone to have had the pictures clicked with small resolution cameras way back when Aadhaar enrollment was done. So there are ways to detect. Sometimes it's very, very obvious, but sometimes it becomes very difficult to do that. So I'm sure the tools that you'll be building will go a long way in helping the government address this challenge. Of course, as you might be aware, it's using deep fakes or using any artificially generated image or spreading misinformation of any kind is a crime also under the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. The Section 353, Section 356 deal with it. Even under the IT Act, Section 66D or the Rule 3.1 of IT Intermediary Guidelines require obligations on not only those who create these images, but there are criminal accountability for even platforms who perpetuate that. The intermediary guidelines requires that if any such deep fake is shared on a platform, it has to be removed within 24 hours or 48 hours, depending the category to which you belong in. So all those who are building tools will also contribute to ensuring that people stay safe. Sanjeev ji referred about the challenges of adolescence. And similarly, there are so many platforms today wherein our children, our elderly are becoming vulnerable. Because sometimes if a phone call comes wherein somebody is speaking in your voice, you will trust them. You will give them an OTP. You will give them your password, and that can result in your bank account being wiped out or your data being stolen. So these are real risks. In fact, apart from developing these tools, Ministry of Electronics and IT, along with the I4C under Ministry of Home Affairs, is also doing a lot of work in spreading awareness about these risks which are there. So there is a social media handle called Cyber Ghost, which is run by I4C, which kind of highlights all these risks about who to trust, when to trust, how to trust. And trust is something that is very vital for any society that is growing up. If we stop trusting a phone call from our mothers or from our children, then nothing can be worse than that. But today it's risky. It's always advisable to call back their real numbers and to confirm whether the call was real or call was fake. So detecting deep fakes of all kinds, whether it's images, whether it's voice, whether it's video, it's very critical. And I'm sure the young teams who are here today are addressing those challenges. I once again compliment all the finalists, the jury members, ICA, Ministry of Information Broadcasting for taking up this hackathon, and I'm sure the solutions that will be identified today, they'll not only be rewarded and get a chance to participate in international summits and events, but more importantly, those tools can become part of the India AI repository, and we'll be happy to host them on India AI mission so that more and more people get to use them. So thank you, and let's hope for the best in today's proceedings. Thank you.